She had only set him down a moment ago. How could he have vanished so swiftly? Was her mind deceiving her? Suddenly, she heard baby gurgles from the living room and hurried in to see him cradling the baby. The baby giggled and cried, oblivious to being picked up just moments before. Bethany and Taylor were in their cozy living room at their suburban home, holding their newborn son. Soft lullabies played in the background, creating a peaceful atmosphere around the young mother. Matthew, Bethany's husband, had gone out for errands, leaving her alone with their precious baby. But soon, unexpected visitors were about to arrive. Bethany Stubbs, a lively new mother in Redwood, Alabama, lived with her husband, in-laws, and their newborn baby, Ashton. Despite the challenges, she made sure everyone felt loved and included. Her father-in-law, Josh, an 88-year-old with silver hair and a kind smile, had moved in to help with the baby and keep each other company. Their home, though cozy, was now filled with the love and joyous cries of baby Ashton. Living with her in-laws, Josh and his spirited wife Patrice, in 3 small bedrooms was challenging, but they made it work. As she gazed down at Ashton's peaceful face, Bethany couldn't help but feel grateful for the support of her father-in-law, Josh, who moved in with them after the birth. Josh was a kind-hearted man, always willing to lend a helping hand. Bethany cherished the moments when Josh would play with Ashton, filling the house with laughter and warmth. Initially, Bethany was grateful for Josh's presence, as it allowed her to focus on her work and gave Ashton the attention he deserved. As days turned into weeks, however, Bethany noticed a change in Josh's behavior. He started holding Ashton for hours at a time, almost possessively. At first, she thought it was just a sweet grandfather-grandson bond forming, but then she realized the old man's behavior meant something else. One day, as Bethany watched Josh cradle Ashton in his arms, she felt a twinge of worry. Josh had been holding the baby for hours, and an unusual scent wafted through the air. Bethany furrowed her brow, unsure of what to make of it. She approached Josh cautiously, concern etched across her face. She didn't want to offend her father-in-law, who always did a lot for them financially. "Josh, is everything okay?" Bethany asked, trying not to sound accusatory. She didn't want to scare the old man, who seemed lost in his own world. Josh looked up with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Oh, everything's fine, Bethany. Just bonding with little Ashton here." He was a prim and proper man, and he never liked being questioned. Days passed, and Bethany's worries grew. She overheard Josh saying things that made her uneasy. "He doesn't look much like Matthew, does he?" Josh remarked one evening, his voice sounding strange. He often gossiped with his wife, Patrice, who brushed him off, annoyed as they both aged. Bethany initially brushed it off, thinking Josh was just tired from helping with the newborn, but she began to worry that Ashton was being held too much. The doctor had warned against it, yet Ashton was being held even more with his grandparents around. Josh's comments became sharper each day. "Maybe he takes after his real father," Josh sneered one day, sending a chill through Bethany. One evening, when Matthew was out, Bethany entered the nursery to find Josh holding Ashton again. The room was uncomfortably quiet, except for the creak of the rocking chair. Bethany narrowed her eyes, sensing something unsettling in Josh's gaze. "Josh, you've been spending an awful lot of time with Ashton," Bethany said, her voice shaky. Josh's face contorted into an unsettling grin. "He's just a special little guy. I can't help myself," Josh said, stroking Ashton's forehead in a strange way that made Bethany uncomfortable. Bethany's worry turned into fear as she snatched Ashton from Josh's arms, a protective instinct kicking in. "You need to back off, Josh. This is our son, not yours." Josh's demeanor shifted instantly. His eyes burned with aggression and his jaw clenched. "You should be grateful I'm here to help. I just want what's best for my grandson." He threw the blanket on the floor and marched out of the room angrily. The confrontation left Bethany unsettled. As she lay in bed that night, she couldn't shake the feeling that Josh's intentions were far from innocent. She wondered why he had become so aggressive around the baby, questioning the safety of her son in the hands of the man she once thought she could trust. Sleep eluded her as she pondered the mystery of Josh's unsettling behavior, fearful of what secrets might lie beneath the surface. Bethany tried to keep Ashton on a scheduled routine, but Josh would pick him up whenever he was alone in his crib. Bethany was about to lose it, but then she noticed a smell. Bethany began to catch a whiff of an unusual odor when she entered the room where Josh spent time with Ashton. What was he doing in there? Something was amiss. An unease settled in her stomach, prompting her to confront Josh gently. "Dad, I appreciate your help with Ashton, but is everything okay? I noticed a strange smell." Josh chuckled nervously. "Oh, it's probably nothing. Just an old cream I've been using on the little fella. Keeps his skin smooth and soft, you know." He showed her an herbal lotion with camphor inside, which was safe for babies. Bethany sighed in relief, accepting the explanation, but a nagging feeling lingered. Days turned into nights, and Josh's behavior escalated. He began making unsettling comments, claiming that Ashton didn't look like his son. Bethany brushed it off, thinking it was just the ramblings of an elderly man with a fading memory. She wished her husband would return from his work trip so he could deal with his own parents. One day, at her wit's end, Bethany decided to set up a hidden camera in the living room, discreetly capturing Josh's interactions with Ashton. As she reviewed the footage, her heart sank. Josh was in and out of lucid thinking, confusing Ashton with his own son from decades ago. Bethany witnessed the heartbreaking moments when Josh applied a familiar cream to Ashton, just as he used to do to her husband when he was a baby. Tears welled up in Bethany's eyes as she watched the footage, realizing that Josh was battling Alzheimer's disease. The man who had once been a pillar of strength for her family was now lost in the labyrinth of his own memories. The situation had gone far beyond simple forgetfulness. It was a heartbreaking journey through the unraveling mind of a once vibrant man. Josh actually had no clue what he was doing or saying. Bethany sat down with Josh, gently holding his trembling hands. "Dad," she whispered, tears streaming down her face, "I understand now. We'll get through this together." The old man laughed it off. He barely knew his daughter-in-law either, and every day was a struggle for him. Bethany realized it was time for her father-in-law to get a proper diagnosis. In the midst of the pain and confusion, a new chapter began for Bethany and Josh, where love and understanding would guide them through the challenges of Alzheimer's. They would navigate the intricate maze of memories together, cherish moments of clarity, and find solace in the warmth of their shared family history. Bethany stepped up to support Josh while his son was away. Filled with both sadness and duty, she called her husband Matthew to watch troubling video footage. Luckily, Matthew was home that week, so she could catch him up on everything. As they sat together, emotions ran high. "We have to get in help," Bethany said firmly. Matthew was stunned, realizing his father had changed. He tried to communicate with his silent mother, Patrice. Together, they sought professional care for Josh and placed him in a specialized facility. It was a mix of relief and sorrow as they watched him enter this new phase of life, though Josh thought they were going on a vacation. In the facility, Josh found some comfort amidst his confusion, with caregivers who understood him. They arranged adjoining rooms for his parents so they could visit privately. Bethany and Matthew visited often, sharing photos and stories from their life. Still, Josh longed to hold baby Ashton himself. Days turned into weeks, and Ashton grew, unaware of the complexities surrounding his grandpa. The Taylors took countless photos of Ashton with Josh. Even as Josh's memories faded, the love and care he once gave his family remained, a testament to a bond that transcended time and memory. When Ashton grew up, he would always know his grandfather had been there for him.